Inking the multi-billion-dollar nuclear-powered submarine deal, Australia and the United States have announced further expansion to their military cooperation. This includes the rotational deployments of all types of US military aircraft to Australia. Australian Defence Minister Peter Dutton says the two sides would be significantly enhancing their force posture cooperation. Australia and the US will also increase interoperability between forces and deepen alliance activities in the Indo-Pacific. Canberra says it is also willing to host more US Marines on rotation through the northern city of Darwin. As part of enhancing the force posture cooperation, the US will now station its military aircraft in Australia on a rotational basis. The move is being seen as a counter to increased Chinese activities in the Indo-Pacific region. To achieve this goal, Canberra and Washington will enhance logistics and sustainment capability for submarines and surface combatants to Australia. Now, the US Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin, hailed the development, saying the new Defense Pact will ensure major force posture initiatives that will expand our access and presence in Australia. On Wednesday, the United States and Britain said that they would provide Australia with the technology and capability to deploy nuclear-powered submarines. The United States and its allies are looking for ways to push back against China's growing power and influence, particularly its military buildup, pressure on Taiwan, and deployments in the contested South China Sea.
We spoke in detail about China's destabilizing activities and Beijing's efforts to coerce and intimidate other countries, contrary to established rules and norms. And while we seek a constructive, results-oriented relationship with the PRC, we will remain clear-eyed in our view of Beijing's efforts to undermine the established international order.
But the new AUKUS pact has angered NATO ally France, which described the move as a stab in the back. The US says that France and other NATO partners were informed before the announcement of the AUKUS deal. Now, Blinken says France continues to remain a vital partner for the United States in the Indo-Pacific.
France in particular is a vital partner on this and so many other issues, stretching back generations, and we want to find every opportunity to deepen our transatlantic cooperation in the Indo-Pacific and around the world. We cooperate incredibly closely with France on many shared priorities in the Indo-Pacific, but also beyond, around the world. We're going to continue to do so. We place fundamental value on that relationship, on that partnership, and we will carry it forward in the days ahead.
Meanwhile, French Foreign Minister Jean-Yves Le Drian accused the US President Joe Biden of acting like former US President Donald Trump. He called America's move brutal, unilateral, and unpredictable. The French embassy in Washington also contradicted US claims. The ambassador, Philippe Etienne, says that they came to know about the AUKUS partnership and the submarine deal only when they saw it in the news. Our correspondent, Susan Tehrani, sent us a report from New York. Take a look.
Senior U.S. administration officials are finding themselves in a position where they have to offer words of assurances that the interests of their Atlantic and Pacific allies are aligned and that the United States welcomes a strong role for France in the Indo-Pacific region after a rupture with its NATO ally over a newly announced nuclear submarine partnership with the UK and Australia. U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, during a press conference on Thursday, said that the United States welcomes European countries playing an important role in the Indo-Pacific and that, quote, France in particular is a vital partner on this, on so many other things, stretching back a long, long time, end of quote. Now, the U.S. says that it had informed France prior to announcing this partnership with the UK and Australia. Nonetheless, considering France's immediate and fiery reaction, it's safe to say that this latest development will challenge a key relationship that the Biden administration had hoped to restore since taking office and since Joe Biden himself became president, and will likely create a lasting hurdle in U.S.-French relations unless and until the U.S. is able to create some sort of balancing act between its Pacific and Atlantic alliances beyond words of assurances. Susan Tehwani reporting from New York for WION, World is One.
WION, now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.
Whether you prefer dressing up,